Hello, Team Strategy Room. Welcome back. It's such a beautiful day here in the Bahamas. I don't know if you tune in a little bit, you can hear the birds chirping. If you can't hear it, eventually you will because they're all over the place. And let me say sorry in advance, just in case a plane passes by. What could you do? You're in the backyard. Can't control that, right? No, you can't. So, how is things going with you in your neck of the woods? I am thinking it's good because it's always good with us because we know how to reframe, right? Yes, we do. Okay, today I want to talk to you today about living life by design and not by default. Living life by design and not by default. What do I mean by that? If you live your life in default, that means you're not taking control of your life, and so anything goes, and your life is too precious for that, right? And so to live life by design, you have to strategize, right? But before you strategize to do that, because designing takes strategy, thought, and all that good stuff. So before you do that, you have to determine what do you want to look like, who do you want to be, sorry. And once you determine who you want to be, then you map it out. And then you have to go about being busy about being you, right? So there's a gap between who you want to be and who you are at the present time. So your focus is to tune in on what needs to be done to close in that gap. And once that gap is closed, then you know for sure you have evolved into this person that you want to be. Now, becoming is not easy. I don't like to use the word not easy. The word becoming requires you to act, to do, to be, meaning that you have to put some effort into it. That's a better word. Put some effort into it. So to close the gap, you require intentionality and effort, right? So let me give you an example. Um, okay, let's say for instance, you see a beautiful Mercedes E-Class, which is in my head right now. Okay, you see a beautiful Mercedes E-Class at the dealers and you really, really love this car. You've been dreaming about this car, right? But the only thing is, though, you can't drive. You can't drive. So, what do you have to do? There's a gap between you and you getting this car. And what is the gap? The fact that you don't know how to drive, you don't know anything about this car. So how do you fill the gap? You go and you get driving lessons. And you spend that time learning about the car, what to do about car care, what is gas gauge, all these different things, everything that you need to know how to function, not necessarily service the car, but of course you have the dealership for that, but the things that you can do to maintain your car and to respect your car, right? So that is a luxury vehicle, so that requires a little bit more out of you, right? So in order for you to be ready to receive this car, there are some things that you need to do so you could become that person who is worthy of driving that car. And number one, you have to get that driver's license. Number two, you have to understand the car and what's expected of you to ensure that that car is maintained in its luxurious state, right? So that's the gap. So you have to go about being very intentional about that. And the same thing can apply to regular life. If you want to become a very successful person in a particular field, of course, you have to see what the gap is between who you are and where you're going to go, and then you go about doing what has to be done to fill that gap. Now, remember, if you don't do anything, you'll fall into default. So you have to be intentional about what you're about to do. Now, another thing too, if, for instance, you didn't get your driver's license, you don't know anything about the car in general, because you don't have a license, and you go on that lot, to that dealership. Sorry, we call it lot over here, but the dealership, and you purchase that car. What is going to happen? What is going to happen? You're going to destroy that car. That's what's going to happen. You're going to probably harm yourself because you don't know how to drive. You don't know how to care for the car. So it'll destroy you or you will destroy it. So that is the important thing about being ready for the thing that you desire. And the good thing about it is once you elevate who you are, there's always something waiting for you on that next level that you can handle. So be about being the next, be about being that person who has to go to the next level to receive the thing that you want that is on the next level. And don't let the thing crush you, because I've seen people take on things that they're not ready for and it buries them. I don't want that to happen to you. So anyway, your challenge, Team Strategy Room, TSR, is for you to think about where you want to be, who you want to be, identify the gap, and then close it in. Okay? So until I see you next time, see you later. Bye bye.